よし。では、ヒットマン3やっていきたいと思います。今回はダートムーア、家族の死。ヒットマン3、2面目ですね。よいしょ。
Mr. Whitmer is here to see Madame Carlyle. You can go right in.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator, hired by Madame Carlyle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47. A famous private investigator summoned by Alexa Carlyle.
ここか。よいしょ。まず私立探偵の後をつけるって、この屋敷に入っていくんですけどね。先に屋敷の方に行ってしまいましょう。で、この辺に入れるところがある。あれ、もうちょっと向こうか。よいしょ。で、探偵さんは正面玄関から入って、よいしょ。この右側の通路をまっすぐがここ入ってきて歩いていくんで、そこで気絶させて衣装を奪います。とりあえずこのマップショートカット開けただけなんだよ。まだ暗殺も一回もしてないんで、全然何が何だかわからないですけどね。
I just need to check.
That's a bit excessive, I think, considering the fact that I spotted no less than 2 routes to get inside the house unseen.
We know what we're doing, sir. Don't worry about that.
一応この館に入るのにボディチェックが必要みたいですね。僕は窓から入ってそれを逃れしてますが。マジか、やってもうた。ここでやって大丈夫。よかった。
Just keep calm. Please stay back.
Mr. Whitmer, thank you for coming on such short notice. A great tragedy has fallen upon us, and I need a quick resolution, handled with absolute discretion.
Results and discretion are my speciality.
Very well. I suppose you will want to start at the crime scene.
In my experience, a thorough examination of a potential crime scene is half the job done.
Good. Fernsby will take over from here.
I am Mr. Fernsby, the butler. Madame Carlyle has asked me to assist you in any way possible. Mr. Whitmer, I understand that you've traveled from London. Would you care for some refreshments? Or do you prefer to go straight to Mr. Zachary's sleeping quarters?
I prefer to get started.
As you wish. If you'll follow me, sir.
なんか殺人事件が起こったんですかね。
I feel obliged to point out that current affairs surrounding Madame Carlyle are of a delicate nature. You may be familiar with the recent announcement of her death. You will probably learn that a staged funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Madame's children were not informed until this morning that their mother was in fact not dead at all. So please bear with them if they seem affected by the rather unusual situation. I trust I do not need to remind you that there will be consequences if word gets out that Madame Carlyle is still alive.
I'll consider her dead when I leave.
Before you inspect the crime scene, I will tell you this. The case concerns the death of Mr. Zachary, Madame Carlyle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning. The door was locked from the inside, and a suicide letter was found in his room. However, Madame Carlyle suspects foul play and will not accept that he took his own life. I've prepared some information for you, so please do come and see me when you've finished your investigation of the crime scene. This is Mr. Zachary's room, to my right.
A locked room murder mystery, 47. I trust you'll get to the bottom of this. Why don't you use your camera to scan the dead body, 47?
ん違う。
Throat markings indicate a rare, short-lived plant poison killed him. Spread shows time of death at around 10 o'clock last night.
You do know your poisons, 47. Zachary's suicide note. Also, a sample of handwriting. It could be relevant to compare to other samples to establish its authenticity. Zachary was shopping for New Wellingtons last night. Not exactly what you would expect from someone suicidal.
Hmm. 本を引き抜く。おお。
Hidden door.
It's a secret passage. This could explain how the door was locked from the inside. A photocopy of the floor plans. Somebody's been researching the secret ins and outs of Thornbridge Manor. I believe you've done a thorough search of the crime scene, 47. Maybe it's time to see the butler. I'm curious about the information he's prepared for you.
なるほど、なるほど。
How are you today, sir?
よし、とりあえず事件現場の検証は終わりですね。47連続殺人事件みたいになってるな。
Mr. Fernsby, I'm done with the crime scene.
Did you establish a time of death?
Zachary died around 10 o'clock last night.
Well, that means the staff were off duty. And Madame Carlyle and her security didn't arrive until this morning. That That leaves Madam's family and myself as the only persons here when he died. And before you ask, no, I do not have an alibi. I was alone in my office at the time of death. Here's the material that I prepared for you. It's a list of the possible suspects and their quarters. Hopefully that will help you keep track of your findings. Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlyle.
So how does one solve a murder mystery, 47? Motive, means, and opportunity, I believe. May I suggest you ask the suspects for alibis? Or perhaps...
I could listen all day. He pours emotion into that instrument.
You have a way with
こ
words.
こは食堂みたいやな。よいしょっと。
Verified his identity. I did, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
That door leads to Emma and Gregory's room.
He's probably not looking for anything serious.
なんでちょっと待って。こっちが部屋なんか。ーっと。
Excuse me.
扉を開けたいんやけど。お前がいると開けれないじゃん。
What? Is that those bloody kids messing around again? Okay, who's doing that?
Now this is interesting, 47. A letter from Emma's mother stating that Emma is the illegitimate child of Alexa's late older brother, Montgomery. And listen to this. She claims to have witnessed Alexa and Zachary murder him. The plot thickens.
Hmm? なんか落ちてる。もうこういうのが拾いづらいんだよな。なんか知らんけど、このゲーム。あった。キーチェーン。
A keychain pendant for the greenhouse. What's that doing in Emma and Gregory's room, I wonder? And why is the key missing?
スキャニングしたからなんなんやっていう話やな、これ。
Things like that, I bet you worked with a lot of high-profile celebrities.
I should let you go back to.
Oh. と。
An old letter, 47. Never opened. Must have slid under the secret door nearly 46 years ago. It states that Alexa Carlyle's older brother, Montgomery, wanted Alexa to become the heir to the Carlyle Empire instead of himself. Interesting. You're an excellent detective, 47. Uncovering truths half a century old. If you frame it correctly, I believe you could use the information to convince Madame Carlyle that Zachary committed suicide. That is the door to Rebecca's room. Maybe you should ask Mr. Fernsby to see her. Or perhaps you feel like digging a bit more. I can see from the log that Rebecca was in a conference call from 9 p.m. to midnight last night.
Hmm. 難しいな。これか。疑いのあるオフィスは下か。
That is the door to Mr. Fernsby's office.
お、 なんでこんなとこにサーベルが。お、なんかあった。
Zachary's diary. This is big. He was about to confess to the world that he and Alexa murdered their older brother Montgomery 46 years ago. And apparently, Mr. Fernsby helped make the murder look like an accident. And 47, the handwriting doesn't match the suicide letter in his room, proving he didn't write it himself.
Painkiller. Lethal if you use enough of them.
But not the poison used to kill Zachary. Of course, Madame Carlyle doesn't know that. Are you considering to frame the butler, 47?
Rosie,
Mr. Fernsby clearly didn't commit the murder, but I think you have enough evidence to convince Madame Carlyle he did. Maybe you should tell him you are ready to present your findings. Unless, of course, you want to do some more detecting, 47?
これは外っぽいな。こっち側かな。中の話かもしかして。違う。ああ、どうやらここのあれは関係なさそう。てか分からへんかった。でもハウスクリーニングあと一つか。
We don't have any extra fuses. Ethel looked everywhere.
No power, no work.
音質。
Broken lab equipment. It looks like it was recently used, though.
This is a table showing lethal dosages for the poison used to kill Zachary.
Something is circled, 47. Female, age 65 to 79, 60 to 64 kilograms. I'd say Madame Carlyle is next in line for a poisoning.
よいしょー。どうやらなんか遺体があった部屋と、遺体があった部屋と、これかエマとグレゴリーの部屋 と、ここがレベッカの部屋。で、1階のファンズビーオフィスと温室を調べると5箇所かな。あれができるんですね。ようーん、
I was just having a laugh, dear. Must admit, he's pretty good.
What if you believe he had something to do with Zachary's death?
Oh, please.
He's circling us. I don't see him snooping around your sister. I bet Alexa said something.
If I could be bothered, I'd be worried about your mental health level. Sorry, I'm having too much fun enjoying the circus.
えーっと、えーっと、わからん。うーん、うーん。
So, how long have you been working here?
About a month now.
You're American. What on earth are you doing in this shithole? A girl like you belongs in club.
パトリックなんとか。
It's in London. I bet you're a great dancer.
I don't like dancing.
What about restaurants then? You like food? I know some great places. You should come visit. I'll take you somewhere really nice. Spend a few bucks. A girl like you deserves that.
I don't know.
Patrick Carlisle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Shit, it's that sneaky butler, isn't it? He ratted me out. Elaine, give us some privacy, would you? Don't tell Mother, okay? She's really tense these days, and the last thing I need is more hassle. I took that pretty blonde, Rosie, for an evening stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind. If that's all, I think I'll get back to my slow death by boredom.
What did you think of Zachary?
Creepy as hell. No ambition. Imagine deciding to live in a museum. You know, Father says Zachary and Alexa used to be two of a kind. He had a great future ahead of him, then suddenly, he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. So, is that it?
Did you see anything suspicious last night?
No. I reckon Zachary topped himself. I know I would have. Or perhaps Mr. Fernsby. I don't like him. He could have done it.
I'm ready to present my conclusion to Madame Carlyle.
Very well. If you'll follow me, sir.
So,
結局あの人に話しかけたことあんまり意味がなかったっすね。っていうか、こいつの家族っていうか、容疑者が何人いてどこにいるかなんて全く表示されないからわからないっすわ。とりあえず状況証拠だけで行くしかないんかな。っていうか、ここ調べろ、ここ調べろみたいなの出るんかと思ったら出なかったっすね。
all right there.
This is Madame Carlyle's office. Please step inside.
Greetings, sir.
I can't forget his eyes.
おちょこちょこちょ、なんでこっち側か。
Your detective skills have gained you access to the Lion's Den, 47. Now, go claim your reward.
So, Mr. Whitmer, you've reached a conclusion. Take a seat. Please, go ahead.
The butler, Mr. Fernsby, killed Zachary.
Fernsby? Oh, you've got that wrong. He would never do such a thing. He is the most loyal man I have ever met.
I found pills in his office that matches the poison that killed your brother. Furthermore, I found Zachary's notebook, half burned, in Mr. Fernsby's fireplace. It showed that Zachary intended to publish a written confession to a murder the two of you committed nearly 50 years ago. The murder of your older brother, Montgomery.
That's outrageous. We did no such thing.
No need to feign innocence. I know a killer when I see one, and my discretion is assured. The papers also described how Mr. Fernsby helped you stage the murder of Montgomery as an accident. I believe he killed Zachary not to be exposed as an accomplice to murder.
Sweet Fernsby. You are wrong, Mr. Whitmer. He did not do it to protect himself. He did it to protect the Carlyle legacy. Mr. Fernsby, like myself, understands that sacrifices must be made to secure stability and prosperity. Mr. Whitmer, I'd appreciate it if your findings never leave this room. I understand Fernsby's actions, and there is no need for them to have more consequences than they already have. Fernsby was very fond of Zachary, and I am sure his decision will haunt him to the day he dies. About your reward, have you considered an amount?
I want the file you have on Arthur Edwards.
Arthur Edwards, the Constant. But that must mean you're... I expected you'd show up. But you're not here to kill me. If you were, you would have already. The enemy of my enemy, I suppose. You can have it. You earned it.
Sir.
The file you want is in the safe. Good hunting. I need some privacy. Thank you.
Good work, 47. That's the file on Arthur Edwards secured. Time to take care of Madame Carlyle. Mission complete. Well done, 47.
よいしょ。とりあえず終わりましたね。向こうは最終的に47っていうところを知っていました。おお、危ない危ない危ない危ない。またここ入っとこやった。でも次は、標的はあなただっていう話だったんだけどな。よいしょ。
Carlisle? Do you need assistance, ma'am? I seem to have lost you.
こっちが正面かな。じゃあ、バイクで脱出していきますか。結局なんか、あまり誰かに話しかけなくてもよかったですね。っていうか、いまいち不親切だっていうか、なんていうか。不親切とまでは言わへんけど、なかなかナビゲーションが出なくて苦労しましたね。おお、何があった？相方。おお、ノーヘルで脱出した。まあイギリスってことは探偵？イングランドか。で、探偵みたいな感じで、なかなか面白かったですね。まあそんな感じで、よいしょ。あそこの金庫の中にあれがあるってことは分かりましたね。よいしょ。ということで今回の動画はここで終わります。ご視聴ありがとうございました。